acting as a whistleblower, saying the government's been covering up evidence of alien spacecraft.
Those recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles.
In an era with rapid technological advancements and an insatiable thirst for knowledge, revelations about non-human technology in the hands of our governments can send shockwaves through society. The journey of a whistleblower who stepped forward to shed light on hidden programs and their covert operations involving entities of non-human origins has been challenging. Still, many others have stood as witnesses alongside him. Keep watching till the end of this video to see U.S. government secretly hiding UFOs. U.S. retrieved non-human origin craft. The House Oversight Committee held a hearing on UFOs on July 26th. Statements, credentials, and high-level officials have been presented to vouch for the authenticity of the statement of David Grush, a former intelligence officer turned whistleblower. Grush is a veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office, and was a representative of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena (UAP) Task Force from 2019 to 2021. Last June 5, 2023, it was reported that the U.S. government had retrieved a non-human origin craft. Grush alleges that the government, its allies, and defense contractors have made recoveries of partial fragments through and up to intact vehicles for decades. He states that the retrieved objects are of exotic origin, determined based on their morphologies, material science testing, unique atomic arrangements, and radiological signatures. "We are not talking about prosaic origins or identities," Grush said, referencing the information he provided the Congress and the current intelligence community inspector general. "The material includes intact and partially intact vehicles," he added. Grush has stated that his revelations have led to him facing retaliation for his confidential disclosures. In his complaint, he alleges that he suffered illegal retaliation and that the information has been illegally withheld from Congress. He further asserts that the operations are ongoing at various activity levels and that he knows the current and former individuals involved. To promote the willingness of potential witnesses to come forward, whistleblower laws prevent any federal employee from retaliating against individuals who make authorized disclosures. These legal measures have introduced additional safeguards for whistleblowers, such as Grush, representing a significant stride towards enhanced transparency and accountability regarding classified programs. Whistleblowing is essential to the checks and balances of our government, and no federal employee should feel discouraged from stepping forward due to fear of retaliation. Representative Andre Carson, who presided over the first open congressional hearing on UAP since 1968, said, "The potential technological advancements that could be gleaned from these non-human craft retrievals cannot be overstated. Analyzing even small samples of these exotic materials could revolutionize human civilization, much like the advent of the microprocessor." Renowned inventor and entrepreneur Dr. Gary Nolan, who has previously examined such materials, underscored this point. He stated, "Human civilization was utterly transformed by something as small as a grain of silicon or germanium, creating the underpinning of the integrated circuits that underlie computation, and now even artificial intelligence." Nolan also added, "What might be represented here could be hundreds of technology revolutions ahead of us. It could be more transformative for humanity than what the microprocessor accomplished. Imagine what we could do with even a grain of knowledge about how they operate." David Grush, supported by colleagues. Grush's statements are backed by several other active and retired intelligence officials who have independently provided similar information, both on and off the record. Jonathan Gray, a generational officer of the United States intelligence community with a top-secret clearance, confirmed the existence of exotic materials, stating, "The non-human intelligence phenomenon is real. We are not alone." He also added, "Retrievals of this kind are not limited to the United States. This is a global phenomenon, and yet a global solution continues to elude us." However, as Jonathan Gray, an intelligence officer specializing in UAP analysis, points out, some secrecy must remain, given the potential for these technologies to be used to wage asymmetrical warfare. Though a tough nut to crack, potential technological advancements may be gleaned from non-human intelligence UAP retrievals by any sufficiently advanced nation, and then used to wage asymmetrical warfare, so, therefore, some secrecy must remain, he said. However, it is no longer necessary to continue to deny that these advanced technologies derived from non-human intelligence exist at all, or to deny that these technologies have landed, crashed, or fallen into the hands of human beings, Gray added. Carl E. Nell, a retired Army colonel who worked with Grush on the UAP task force, characterized Grush as beyond reproach. His assertion concerning the existence of a terrestrial arms race occurring sub rosa over the past 80 years, focused on reverse engineering technologies of unknown origin, is fundamentally correct, as is the indisputable realization realization that at least some of these technologies of unknown origin derive from non-human intelligence, Nell said. Christopher Mellon, who spent nearly 20 years in the U.S. intelligence community, also provided insights into the alleged program, acknowledging the delicate nature of getting this potentially explosive information into the right hands for validation. A number of well-placed current and former officials have shared detailed information with me regarding this alleged program, including insights into the history, governing documents, and the location where a craft was allegedly abandoned and recovered, Mellon said. However, it is a delicate matter getting this potentially explosive information into the right hands for validation. This is made harder by the fact that, rightly or wrongly, a number of potential sources do not trust the leadership of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office established by Congress. Despite these claims, the Pentagon, through its spokesperson Sue Goff, has stated that the Department of Defense's UAP task force, now reorganized as the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, has found no verifiable information to substantiate the claims about crashed alien craft. To date, AARO has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently, Goff told ABC News. Amidst these revelations, there have been calls for more transparency from the government. In an article for Politico, Christopher Mellon called for greater transparency in this matter. But despite the mounting support for Grush's claims, many remain skeptical. Mike Turner, a leading House Republican, expressed doubt that the U.S. government has recovered alien spacecraft, citing the lack of evidence and the complexity of maintaining such a conspiracy. UAP videos declassified by U.S. Navy Commander Fravor, along with another Super Hornet, took off for a training exercise, only to be informed that the mission was being diverted due to a UAP sighting. This was the first time an airplane was in the sky, able to inspect the phenomenon closer. The radar had picked up a UAP track, and the 2 Super Hornets carrying 4 crew members were dispatched to investigate. The Princeton, equipped with the advanced AN Spy-1 radar, a marvel of technology capable of detecting an object as small as a golf ball from over 100 miles away, had been monitoring these UAPs since November 10th. The radar screen would light up with groups of 5 to 10 unknown objects appearing from an altitude of 80,000 feet, quickly descending to around 20,000 feet, hovering for a few hours, and then shooting back up. Upon reaching the merge plot, a point where the radar could no longer distinguish the Super Hornets from the UAP, they saw nothing at first. However, looking down, Fravor noticed white waves breaking on an otherwise calm sea surface. Just below the surface was a cross-shaped object, roughly the size of a Boeing 737. Above it, they spotted a white oval-shaped object, about 40 feet in length, haphazardly moving around the cross. The crew initially speculated it to be a helicopter, but the absence of rotor wash dismissed this possibility. The oval-shaped object, now known as the Tic Tac, for its slight resemblance to the shape of a popular mint brand, became their focal point. Deciding to look closer, Fravor circled down while the second Super Hornet stayed at a higher vantage point. As Fravor descended, the Tic Tac abruptly turned and began ascending as though to meet him. The two continued circling each other until Fravor was about 2,000 feet above the Tic Tac. He cut across the circle and headed straight for the Tic Tac. However, as he got close, the unknown craft accelerated and disappeared. When they turned to inspect the cross-shaped object in the water, it had vanished as well. Then came the radio message from the Princeton that left everyone stupefied. "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is back at your Cap Combat Air Patrol point." The UAP had reappeared on the radar approximately 60 miles from its last known location, reaching there in just seconds. The notion that the United States alone has maintained this secrecy for nearly a century needs to be dispelled, and the world populace needs to be prepared for an unexpected non-human intelligence contact scenario.